News 46 is brought to you by Inspiration Senior Living, where we provide affordable elegance to Pahrump area seniors. Give us a call at 751-2300 and make an appointment to tour our community. News is also brought to you by Dr. George Leeks, Pahrump's optometrist since 1990, offering full-spectrum eye care for children and adults. Call today, 727-8300. News is also brought to you by J.K. Nelson Law. Call 727-9900 today for your free consultation. If you need a lawyer, you need Nelson.
Tonight on News 46, several vehicle fires occur over the weekend. Miss Senior Golden Years is crowned, and Tails End Animal Shelter talks about their plans. News 46 starts now.
You're watching KPVM News 46 with Deanna O'Donnell. News 46, local coverage you can count on.
Good evening. It's Monday, June 8th, 2015. I'm Deanna O'Donnell. Several vehicle fires occurred over the weekend. We caught up with Fire Chief Scott Lewis to find out more.
There were 3 vehicle fires that occurred late Friday night into Saturday morning. The first one was at Homestead in the area of Kellogg. We came upon one vehicle that was parked on the shore of the road. The passenger compartment was well involved in fire. Crews made a quick suppression on that. There was one minor injury sustained while the individual was trying to remove some personal property from the burning vehicle. Nothing significant, no medical treatment sought. The fire is under investigation.
All right, and then on Highway 160 North near the town of Johnny was an accident, then a vehicle fire?
Well, as we were completing the first car fire, we were dispatched for a report of a second vehicle fire on Highway 160 in the area of Johnny. And our initial crews from Station 1 responded and found a well-involved vehicle off of the roadway, and they determined that was actually a result of a one-vehicle rollover type accident. The vehicle came in contact with the fencing, and at some point the vehicle ignited and became well involved in fire.
How was the occupant?
The occupant sustained injuries, and but safely egressed from the vehicle, but did sustain injuries and sought hospital treatment.
And that fire was pretty much extinguished by the time that you guys arrived?
No, it was still burning. Our crews suppressed it, and there was no extension to the nearby, brush and such. Quick response prevented that.
What's the third one?
Approximately 2 o'clock in the morning, we were dispatched for a report of another vehicle fire. This one occurred on Oak Ridge in the area of Kellogg. Our crews, upon arrival, found a fully involved vehicle parked in the middle of the street. The fire was quickly extinguished. There was no extension to the nearby brush or exposures. That fire is also under investigation.
Was there any occupants?
There were no occupants accompanying that vehicle.
And nobody's contacted you since that time?
Not at this point.
Thank you. And a single vehicle rollover occurred on South Highway 160 early this morning.
Highway 160 around 5 o'clock this morning for a one-vehicle rollover just around the Clark-Nye County line. Crews responded, in fact, found a vehicle that had rotated at least twice. There were occupants. They were medically treated. I'm unsure whether they were transported from the scene.
And this accident appears to be the cause of what? You don't know? It's under investigation?
It is under investigation, so I am unaware as to what may have contributed to the collision today.
And 2 vehicles collided at the intersection of Mesquite Avenue and Highway 160 around 10 a.m. today.
Early this morning, we were dispatched a report of a 2-vehicle accident, unknown extent of injuries. Upon arrival, we in fact found the collision. However, there was no entrapment and no injuries claimed on that accident. NHP and Sheriff's Office proceeded to investigate. While on that scene, we also had a pedestrian, or actually a vehicle pull up and had a medical issue occurring within that vehicle. So the Medic 5 crew had cleared from the accident and then proceeded directly to the medical call, which occurred within several hundred yards of the accident.
We will be right back with your Desert View Hospital health tip.
This portion of the news is brought to you by Inspiration Senior Living, where we provide affordable elegance to Pahrump area seniors. Give us a call at 751-2300 and make an appointment to tour our community.
Welcome back to News 46. A 2006 health advisory from the Food and Drug Administration alerted women that taking certain types of antidepressants late in pregnancy could increase the risk of a severe and life-threatening breathing disorder in their newborns. In 2011, the FDA updated the advisory, saying it was too early to reach firm conclusions about a possible link. A new study examined whether taking antidepressants during late pregnancy increases the risk for this condition known as PPFN.
This health tip is brought to you by
Desert View Hospital and Mountain Valley Physicians Group. Don't put your health on hold. We have time for you. Call us to schedule your appointment. 775-751-7100.
Babies breathe very differently before and after birth.
Before birth, the baby's blood circulates differently while in the uterus.
The fetus gets oxygen from its mother. The developing lungs are not used for breathing. After birth, this should change. Persistent pulmonary hypertension, or PPHN, occurs when the baby does not adapt to breathing outside the womb. Dr. Krista Hubbardix from Brigham and Women's Hospital in Boston and co-authors examined medical records of nearly 4 million publicly insured women, all diagnosed with depression, who filled a prescription for antidepressants during the last 90 days of pregnancy. The researchers were most interested in the use of selective serotonin reuptake inhibitor antidepressants, or SSRIs.
The large majority of those women, around 80%, used an SSRI as opposed to a non-SSRI antidepressant.
The records of women who did not take an antidepressant were also examined. The number of babies born with PPHN was compared in each group.
We did observe a higher risk of PPHN in women that were exposed to antidepressants compared to those that weren't. Once we accounted for potential differences in the characteristics of women belonging to these different exposure groups, we did not find an increase in the risk of PPHN associated with either SSRI antidepressants nor for non-SSRI antidepressants.
Those characteristics included diabetes and obesity, both of which are known risk factors for PPHN.
This is important information for clinicians and their patients when they are weighing the risks and benefits of continuing antidepressant medication use during pregnancy or potentially initiating medication use during pregnancy.
Catherine Dolph, The JAMA Report.
Thanks so much, Catherine. 20 and 30 cases per 10,000 births. The Nye County Republican Central Committee made a resolution which states their dissatisfaction with Governor Brian Sandoval and Assemblyman James Oscarson's support for the increase in business and cigarette tax to support education reform by stating that they no longer support either politician. They stated that they regard their vote for the tax increase as an act of fraud and betrayal by the two Republicans. The NCRCC said that Oscarson and Sandoval violated Republican principles and platforms. Therefore, they have made a board decision to excommunicate them and have decided that Sandoval and Oscarson have made themselves unwelcomed to enjoy the privilege of being honorary members of the Nye County Republican Central Committee, and they will no longer have their support. The 2015 Miss Senior Golden Years Queen has been crowned. We caught up with Lorraine Murray shortly after the pageant Saturday night.
Your 2015 Miss Senior Golden Years USA is Lorraine Murray. Congratulations to the Queens.
Pretty shocking.
Yeah. So what do you think about being crowned?
I'm very delighted with this, with all the ladies that were in this. I mean, the beauty and the talent and the platforms are like world class. I was totally surprised, but just really, really happy to be able to take another path to help being the ambassador of Pahrump.
So let's talk about the talent, because you came out here all sexy.
Oh, gosh. Yeah, share.
That was a good act. Tell me how you came up with that, why you thought that would be a good one.
Actually, when they told me about being in the pageant and I should have talent, and I said, I have none. And so they thought about it and they said, you're going to be Cher. Yeah. And that's what happened. court-appointed special advocates because of Willie Bear. We started Pioneer Territory CASA about 5 years ago, and it's growing, but so is the need. So we really want to encourage, particularly men, because the boys could use a strong male CASA, and the women. It works in any family. To have a CASA makes a huge difference in a child's life. It gives strength to children to be able to strengthen our community.
You've been ingrained in the community for so many years, doing so many different volunteer things, including political. So tell me what you're going to do for this next year with Miss Senior Golden Years.
Whatever BJ tells me to do. Of course, we will be working specifically to promote the platform of all the ladies that competed. And if you were here for this show, you know that there's a lot of things that they're working on already, and we'll strengthen each of those in the community. And outreach, Special Olympics, volunteering for businesses. It's a great group of women. We'll work on all those platforms.
Congratulations to Lorraine and all the girls. We'll have more on the Miss Senior Golden Years pageant on tomorrow night's broadcast. When we return, we're going to tell you about Tails End and give you your weekend sports.